what we do here is go back, 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 back.
Do you guys have a childhood game? A game that you've been playing, or maybe not still playing, but a game you've been playing or have played a lot when you were a child? I mean, we all have them. Mine was, well, the most memorable ones I have are, well, is Wizard101, obviously, which is the title of the video. Simpsons Hit and Run. I recently did a stream where I did the entire game non-stop, one sitting, so that would be interesting. But um, and the SpongeBob game, the movie, I think it's called that. These three games, I think. Well, I've played a lot more games, but I can't remember the names of them, unfortunately. Anyway, these two games are kind of like, they bring back good memories. Well, I don't have a lot of memories, like a ton of memories of when I was a child. I just remember I was naive about everything. But yeah, yeah. And just in case you guys were wondering why I'm not having gameplay of the game that I'm talking about today, it's because fuck you. That's why. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Wizard101. Now, I've been playing Wizard101 since they released Dragonspire. I'm not sure if I was playing it since like the beginning. I can't remember the exact date I started because when I first started the game, I didn't exactly know what I was doing, so to speak. And one of my characters, my myth character, I think, I invested all my training points into the fire school. So yeah, and I still haven't reset them, but you get the point. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know if I was playing since Mushu was released, but I'm glad I did not get to Mushu when I first started playing because it's an MMO and it's meant to be, you're supposed to grind, and I'm glad I didn't as a kid because I paid attention to the story. I thought the story was really good. Yeah, that's a little sketch, but I mean, kids like stupid things, so I guess I was a stupid kid back then, because I like the story of Wizard 101. So I won't spoil any of it because I still kind of like the story. It's somewhat interesting, especially the third arc that was just released a few months ago. I think last year, Imperia Part 2. Anyway, so my first character was the myth guy, but I don't have him anymore. I transferred him onto a different account. Um, and then I kind of just stopped playing him. When I was a little kid, I didn't have any money, so yeah, I asked my mom if I could do anything, mom and dad, if I could do anything to earn $7 for a monthly membership, and eventually I did earn it, and for some weird reason, my mom actually likes the game too. I mean, it's not a really hard game to play at all. A lot of people like it because it's not difficult to play. Um, yeah. So then she created Julia Stormbreaker years ago, back when Dragonspire was the last world. And I remember, yeah. So I remember doing like the first few quests. I remember doing Unicorn Way and Triton Avenue over and over and over on each account, and I would pick up every single side quest and make my quest book very messy. Man, I wish Wizard101 would just add in a thing so you can delete your side quests. It's so annoying. Anyway, yeah, and Julia was pretty much the only character I had that was ever max. So yeah, Dragonspire, I got her to max before they released Celestia. When they released Celestia, I was really excited because I knew for a fact that I was one of the first people to do the brand new world. And yeah, I was actually. I didn't do it all in one night because I was a kid, unfortunately. So I wasn't the first to complete it. But nonetheless, I completed it, and eventually I figured out there's waterworks and whatnot. The dungeon. That was the best gear. That was basically like Dark Moor, but for level 60s back then. So I remember when I was a little kid, I could only do the waterworks dungeon every now and then because the waterworks dungeon back then we didn't have level 130s to carry us. We weren't spoiled. The dungeon was actually quite difficult, and I didn't know the respawn glitch for the boss, and I didn't even know the rules for the final boss in Waterworks. So usually I'd be 15 minutes in, we'd be on Luska or maybe the third lever, and oh, Gabe, you have to come do this outside. Yeah. So I'd basically just be kicked off a lot of the times because I wouldn't be able to finish the dungeon ever. It was really annoying. And I was dumb and sold some of my waterworks gear because I was needed the gold for whatever reason. I don't know. I was really dumb back then, especially when it came to MMOs. And then, yeah, eventually Zafaria came out, which was like, I don't know how long, I don't know how long it was in between, how long the updates were in between each worlds. But yeah, I eventually got all the waterworks gear and moved to Zafaria, and once again, I was one of the first people to do Zafaria, and this was when I started to realize that gear mattered. Yeah, I was starting to actually grow brain cells back then. But yeah, I finished Zafaria, I did Mirror Lake. I thought the Mirror Lake was really interesting because, oh, we're finally gonna kill Morganth or whatever or something. Back then I didn't know what arcs were, and I didn't realize that they were gonna do 5 worlds for each arc. Yeah, and I thought we were gonna kill Morganth because in Mirror Lake she appears like 3 times, I think. Anyway, yeah. I didn't really know what I was doing. I saw that there's a new stat. I think they added Pierce, the Pierce stat in Zafaria. I didn't bother getting any of the gear because Waterworks is basically the best gear until level 100. And then Avalon came out. I really liked Avalon. I don't remember doing a lot of Avalon. I remember, I think my mom did it for me actually. Because I kind of started to lose interest in it because I really didn't like doing all the quests. It doesn't really give the same satisfaction as how I felt about the game when I first got it, like back when Dragonspire was the last world. Yeah, Avalon, I did like the first few areas. I thought it was a really cool area, like the music was interesting and the art for the world was pretty interesting as well. It's one of my favorite worlds. Eventually, I think, okay, Celestia you get level 60, Zafaria you get level 70, and Avalon you get level 80. So, I believe when you're in Azteca you get level 90, and that's when they released Zeus, Atlantis, and Tartarus, the 3 dungeons in Atlantia. I think it's called Atlantia. I haven't been there in a while. And I remember being a level 90 Promethean, I think, after they released Azteca, and I was so excited to finally get the gear, like the best gear in the game again, like what I did in Waterworks, because I didn't know what an MMO was back then. I just remember that getting the best gear in the game was very satisfying. So yeah, I farmed Tartarus. I got the wand for it. That's it though. I think I got the wand and maybe the Hatter boots. Actually, I don't even think, yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing because I remember doing the dungeon every now and then, like maybe once or twice a week, and then I stopped playing for a while until they released Chrysalis. And just for a little background, Chrysalis is incredibly hard to solo. Azteca's kind of getting there, and Avalon is also kind of getting there to the point where you kind of need people to help you if you want to kill the bosses. But Chrysalis is just ridiculous, especially for a storm. And I was soloing 90% of the time, so it was bad. And I was trying to get gear, but I didn't want to do Tartarus, and the Tartarus gear wasn't actually as good as I thought. I did Chrysalis. I leveled up to like 94 or something, 92 probably, and I stopped playing. I stopped playing for 2 years. 2 years, I believe, 2 or 3. And then I came back into the game, and I finished Chrysalis. It took me a long time. I finished Chrysalis. I realized that there was a new dungeon that gives you even better gear, Darkmoor, because once you finish Chrysalis, I think you should be around level 100. So Darkmoor was a thing I was excited about. And there were, let's see, there was, after Chrysalis, there's Polaris, Mirage, and Empiria, I believe. Only 3 worlds. So, not the traditional 5 arc. Well, Empiria actually kind of counts as 2 worlds, because they had an Empiria Part 1 and 2, which were both, I'd say, as big as has a length of 1 world. Anyway, yeah, I got back into the game, and I finished Empiria Part 1 before they released Empiria Part 2. So, I got back into the game, and now, okay, yeah, so where was I? My sister came in, so I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm on Empiria Part 2. I'm finally pretty much done. I mean, I'm working, I have other characters, but I just, this isn't really, this might not be an interesting video for other people to watch, but I'd like to take a trip down memory lane with this game, and, I mean, it really was my childhood game, and now that I know more about MMOs, I can actually understand how to play the game better, and yeah. I mean, other than that, I'm working on other characters. I have a level 61 Fire, a level 111 Death, level 52 Storm. I have another Storm because I wanted a guy. And what else? And a level 41 Life that's in Dragonspire right now. Yeah, I basically only have 1 more character slot. I'm probably gonna do an Ice character. I mean, I already have an Ice character, but yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. I think I'm starting to get this outro thing. I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a different video. Hopefully, it'll be interesting as well. I'll see you guys then. Bye.